Today on Business Made in Montana, we introduce you to more companies that call Montana home, create interesting and unique products, hire Montana workers, and keep the state's economy rolling. We're crossing Big Sky Country to tell you the stories of business made in Montana.
This University of Montana School of Journalism student production is made possible with support from the Greater Montana Foundation. The Greater Montana Foundation benefits the people of Montana by encouraging communication on issues, trends, and values of importance to present and future generations of Montanans. And by the University of Montana.
Welcome to Business Made in Montana. I'm Laura Freeman. Today we'll bring you the stories of businesses making it work in the Big Sky Country. For many years, customers at the Mustard Seed and Noodle Express restaurants have enjoyed the company's Asian-inspired fresh sauces and dressings. In 2013, it was decided to bring these healthy, all-natural products to the retail marketplace for all to enjoy. Let's go to Ronan to check out the Mustard Seed Sauce Company.
Mustard Seed Sauce and Dressing Company is an offshoot of the Mustard Seed Restaurant and Noodle Express restaurants, which is all part of the general mustard seed concept. And what we produce here are sauces and dressing using the mustard seed recipes. My title here is the CEO. The history of mustard seed sauce and dressings is about 4.5 years at this point right now. The concept was we needed a shelf-stable product to get out to market that our customers could enjoy. If we sell regular sauces and dressings out of the restaurant, it comes in a styrofoam container and it really has to be used in a couple of days or so because it's just not shelf stable. But producing a shelf stable product gives us the opportunity to go to market to wide-reaching areas. What we're really trying to do is fill that specialty sauce and dressing category that's in the marketplace today. And we really feel that our products are unique and different than anything out there on the shelf.
My name is Matt Cook. I'm the production manager here for the Mustard Seed Sauce and Dressing Company. Let's see, we have our Osaka sauce, we have our teriyaki grill sauce, the ginger dressing, the teriyaki sauce, the fireworks sauce. Our Osaka seems to go the fastest, probably followed after that, I think, by the ginger.
To make the sesame ginger or any of our products, we have to first prepare all the products and get them laid out. So all the raw ingredients are weighed out, put together in the correct proportions. Then they go into the kettle. We create what we call a slurry, which is using stabilizers and a few other things to hold the oils and vinegars together. And then we add the rest of our ingredients while continually using our stick mixer in there to keep everything all together. Then we have to reach our temperatures that are mandated to us in the Process Control Authority that is all issued out by the FDA and things like that. We have to reach our correct pH levels to give us that longevity and shelf stability. And then at that point, once we reach those levels, especially the temperature, then we're ready to bottle. It goes into the hopper of the bottler, and we just start feeding those bottles through there and reach our levels that we need to get. We cap it. We turn the bottles upside down, which creates a vacuum in the bottle and really seals it. Takes out all the oxygen that is left in there, anything that could cause that bacteria to grow. And then from there, we go right into labeling.
I'm in charge of maintaining this processing facility, which means that we have to uphold a complete food safety program that we manage. So all our clients come in are umbrellaed under that food safety program. We have to make sure that all the equipment is working, that the facility is clean and ready to go when they come in. And if there's any problems, that we're here to troubleshoot those problems. We're also here to provide some clients technical assistance in their production because they're just learning. We're an incubated facility, so some people come in and they've never done this before. So we give them that guidance.
The company formed about 36, 38 years ago in Missoula as a small restaurant. And like I said, the need really was to produce a shelf-stable product that we could get out there to the market. So the 5 years that the sauce and dressing company has been in existence, really the need there was strictly to fill that market. We all live here. We want to have some way to remain living here because we love this state. And it's nice to be able to have some type of industry that we can claim our own and actually have its origins in the state of Montana. So that's why we do it. And the Ronan facility here really is the only facility that is an FDA approved kitchen where we can actually produce this outside of some other state that has a bigger manufacturing facility. So that's why we do it in Montana, because we love the state, we love it here, and the product has its origins here. So that's why we're here.
To get more information on their Asian-inspired sauces and dressings, go to mustardseedsauce.com.
Our next business started because two parents wanted to provide the best chemical and allergen-free products for their family. That idea grew into a business that handcrafts 100% natural bath and body products that are allergy and chemical free. Here's DAYSPA Body Basics, right here in Missoula.
My background is come from Montana family, had Montana farm. My grandmother used to always make soap and basically the necessities when they lived out on the farm. I'm Lori Parker, and I am the part owner, me and my husband own DAYSPA Body Basics. I have 4 children, and my youngest daughter, Alex, had severe allergies when she was a baby. They say like 90% of the people are allergic to 8 items, and she was pretty much allergic to all 8 of those, which includes soy, nuts. And so it was just very difficult to find stuff for her. And so we just, based on my background of knowing how to make some of that stuff, just as a hobby on the weekends, would make stuff with my friends and my family. And then one of my friends was like, we should do the Clark Fork Market. And so we did that for one season, and we just grew from there. So we actually have friends who own this shop, and he had a business and he retired, and when we were looking at moving our shop out of my basement, this was a great opportunity. It's right next to the river. It works for us right now. We definitely are at capacity, and we are looking at building a larger shop, but this works really well for us. My husband is a registered nurse, and he has a job, and I'm actually a CPA, and those are our primary jobs. So if it wasn't for my family and my friends like Kara, who run it day to day, it wouldn't be as successful as it is.
Me and Lori have been friends forever. I, at one point, needed some side work with having 3 kids and trying not to work too much outside the house. I came in and started to do some work for her, which turned into me working full-time for her. I am Kira O'Plennis, and I manage DAYSPA Body Basics. Just kind of the day-to-day things, making sure things get made properly, that everybody's in line for what they need to do for that day, and making sure packages get out to our different wholesale accounts.
We ship all over the United States. We've had an order from Korea. We've had orders in Canada, in Europe. So those are on a smaller scale, but definitely throughout the U.S. The cost of shipping is high compared to a lot of places. We're not in a central hub like Denver or Seattle. We try to source locally whenever possible, and our primary ingredient that we use in the majority of our products is organic safflower that's grown and cold pressed in Big Sandy, Montana. It's delivered directly to us from the farm. They're, again, a Montana family business. They've now expanded into hemp oil, and we do have a few items that we use hemp in. And then we also source all of our beeswax and our honey from Smoot, who are outside of Power, Montana. So whenever we can purchase Montana ingredients, we try to do that. Obviously, organic and all natural is really important to us. I think more and more people are concerned about what goes into their products. They're very conscious of what chemicals and preservatives, and so that actually has worked really well for us.
There's several different ingredients that go in together. Certain things have to be put together in one step, and then it needs a combining agent. So as they were blending them together, combining our oils and our waters together to make that lotion.
So I think with Montana being a bit smaller, and there is focus on growing small business, it just worked out good for us. You know, I grew up in a family business, so if we wanted extra money to buy a bike or go to Silverwood, you had to work, and we do that with our kids. I think it's a Montana business model, I think.
To find out more about their natural and organic products, go to DAYSPABodyBasics.com.
Our next business takes all of this wonderful sunshine and turns it into efficient energy for our homes. The renewable energy professionals at Bozeman Greenbuild believe in delivering their customers energy savings today, tomorrow, and for years to come.
My name is John Palm, and I'm the owner of Bozeman Greenbuild. We're a solar PV installation company. We've been doing this in Montana since 1991. We build solar PV systems for residential, commercial, schools, nonprofits, farms, ranches, all over the state, and even a little bit out of state. Today we're at a job site in Livingston, where we've just installed a 5.2 kilowatt system on a new home. This system is a good example of what a lot of folks in Montana now are doing, which is doing systems that are just about enough to satisfy all of their residential loads, but are more than anything financially viable so that they pay for themselves in a pretty short amount of time.
Do humor me and come up just for the next 2 or 3 until we're sure we're not scraping, and then we'll transition to the place.
My name is James Dillon. I'm a project designer and sales specialist, and what I do is, the cool thing about it is it's pretty different every single day. Some days I'm building quotes and putting together project designs for interested folks. Some days I'm doing commercial outreach, so I'm literally just calling companies and setting up sales meetings with them and giving presentations. Some days, like today, I'm out on the roof doing installation work. Other days I'm kind of tech support. If an inverter's acting up, I go out and I investigate what's going on. A little bit of everything. There's a lot of versatility involved with a lean operation like this, and that's what keeps it interesting.
My name's Buddy Holcomb. I'm a project manager for Bozeman Greenbuild. We do solar installations for residential properties and commercial entities, nonprofits. This place right here is a new build, new construction. So we're getting the system up as the house is getting built.
Because systems have come down in price, now we're at the point where ordinary working people all over the state can install systems and have them pay for themselves in a reasonable amount of time and have them be a good financial choice. We also do systems for large businesses, farms and ranches, and as we get larger systems, as we do larger systems, the economy of scale kicks in and we can get even better payback times. Using things like the 30% federal tax credit, we can get systems that are paying for themselves in as little as 7 years. We also have done a lot of work with schools and nonprofits. We're doing the system for the Sacagawea Middle School here in Bozeman, and have done over 20 schools across the state in the last few years. My own background is that I've been involved in construction and building and renewable energy dating back to the late 80s, early 90s, and I was originally from the Midwest, but have been here for about 30 years now. Have just found Montana to be a wonderful place to raise kids, a wonderful place to find community, and a great place to run a business, primarily because it's a small enough state still that you often will have very few degrees of separation. It makes it so that doing business is really easy and enjoyable.
To get more information about renewable energy, go to bozemangreenbuild.com.
A lot of us like to enjoy a good beer every now and then while hanging out with our dogs. Now your dog can join you with their own delicious beer. Made with all natural ingredients, Happy Dog Beer Co. makes a brew that keeps your dog happy and healthy. Let's go to Bozeman to check it out.
My name is Amy Hinkle, and I am the owner of Happy Dog Beer Co. And this is Bender, and he is the beer connoisseur. A few years ago, Bender and I were traveling in Europe, and we went to a pub, and the owner of the pub was getting everybody a round of drinks, and I made the joke, hey, he wants a beer. So he just kind of quietly nodded and disappeared and came back about 5 minutes later with a bottle, and the bottle had a little cartoon dog on it. And I thought, oh, it's just another beer with a dog on it. That's cute. But then when I saw it, it was actually beer for dogs. And so instantly I thought, oh, back home, Bozeman is the perfect place for something like this. I felt like Bozeman was the perfect place for Happy Dog Beer Co. because mainly it's a great dog town. People love their dogs here. And also craft beer is a huge deal. And also there are a population here that wants to spoil their dogs. It's not just because there's lots of dogs here. People are willing to spend a little extra for something healthy and something good for their dogs. Total hours that is put into a batch of dog beer, I would say, is about 15 hours of work. The first process is filtering water. I always make sure the water's filtered that goes into the dog beer. Second process would be the actual making of the dog beer, which is a boiling in a high pressure cooker, and then letting it sit overnight, and then bottling and then labeling. I put this down. I grab a bottle. This is the IPA. I grab a label. And done. Each label has a story of Bender, and the chicken flavored one, the story is basically about how I discovered dog beer. This is Peter, the pub owner, who came and brought me the dog beer. And the fun story about this bottle is it's one of these bottles traveled back to the Netherlands to Peter. And so I have a photo of Peter holding this bottle, which inspired me to start the business. When I first started producing dog beer, I was actually discouraged a few times because I thought, oh, the breweries are gonna love this concept and they'll sell my dog beer, but I was turned down. It turned out like specialty shops really liked the concept and the idea. And so most of my beer today is sold at specialty dog shops or even human shops.
We started selling Happy Dog beer a couple holiday seasons ago, and we started with a pop-up cafe outside, and we had a bunch of dogs. It was one of our most well-attended events ever. People brought their dogs, and they all had a little appetizer and a dog beer, and it was so sweet. And then people bought tons for the holidays. We could not keep it on the shelves that first holiday, and then it's been really building up steam since then. People really, really love it. Of course, the dogs really love it. And they sometimes people come up and they think that it's real beer, and we have to disabuse them of that notion.
People ask me, will it get my dog drunk? And the answer is no. There is no alcohol, no hops, no carbonation in dog beer because it's really unhealthy for our pets, our dogs. It does have wort, which is in the process of brew making, and it actually has a lot of benefits, and also it gives a little bit more depth in smell and flavor.
Hi, my name is Cora DeSantis, and I am a sucker for dogs that need homes, especially old ones. I have 3 of them, The youngest are 11. And so I have a German Shepherd, which the German Shepherd for 11 years old for a German Shepherd is like ancient. And then I have Lady, and Lady is 11 also, and she's a Border Collie Australian Shepherd mix. I feed them like a hip and joint glucosamine kind of supplement. When I put that on there, it's like this dry, nasty, like who'd want to eat that? It's like, looks like almost like little bark or hay, but it keeps them spry, really keeps them spry. And so I like to mix it with Happy Dog Beer Co. beer because it kind of moistens it all up and it makes it taste good, and they gobble it right up. I just really like the idea of supporting my neighbor rather than who knows what, some national corporation. I like supporting my neighbor.
I traveled a lot internationally, and even Bender has traveled Europe and different countries with me, and it's the first time where I found somewhere to live where when I'm traveling I start missing. Before I would not want to return home, and now when I travel I'm like, oh, I'm ready to go home. So that's why I love Montana. Starting a business in Bozeman, specifically in Montana, I find that it doesn't take a lot to start a business. So why not take the opportunity to do it since it's encouraged, basically. So there's a huge community that supports and wants to see you succeed. And so that's why I chose to go ahead and start my own business here.
Get more information on beer that can help keep your dog healthy and active at happydogbeerco.com.
Locally made and custom built in Whitefish, Notice Snowboards channels its passion and innovation into every board. When part of your mission statement is to exceed expectations with quality, performance, and appearance, you know Notice Snowboards is dedicated to getting it right.
I started skiing when I was 2 years old and skied at a pretty competitive level, like in freestyle skiing when like moguls and twister spreads were the steez. And then I tried snowboarding one time when I was 12 years old and went home and took down all my posters of Scott Schmidt and Glenn Plake off my wall and put up posters of like Craig Kelly and Tom Sims, and my dad walked in my room and he was like, oh, I guess you're a snowboarder now.
My name is Britton Ellingson, and I'm the founder and shaper for Notice Snowboards.
And there really isn't a company like Notice that you can get a 100% complete custom board. There's companies that you can get your own custom shape, and there's other companies that you can get your own custom graphics, but you can't design your own board 100% by any snowboard company that I know of besides mine. Without a doubt, there's some amazing snowboards being built overseas, but there's something to be said about a board that's like pretty much completely handmade, totally built for you. Once you ride a custom snowboard, it's really hard to go back to a board that is made for, a bigger population than just what you want. Like the binding inserts are perfect for your feet. The width is perfect, the flex is perfect. If you want it softer or stiffer or more flexible in certain areas of the board, like we can do that. And then on top of it, graphics too. The sky's the limit when it comes to graphics on your own snowboard, and it shows when you're on the hill and everything. Like no one's ever seen that board because there's only one of them.
I think, there's just a lot of conscious consumers here that, live here and that visit here, that are really excited to buy a product that is made in the U.S. and made with quality materials and handmade versus, just getting one off the rack. I think they think of Montana as this, the Wild West and big mountains and all that, which is all true. And I think that really helps with our marketing. It's just been a great spot to have our business. I answer all the emails. So we'll get inquiries about, people who want to start the process off of making a custom board or just ordering a board. And then also just a lot of follow-up emails. So once I actually, once we start making a board for somebody, there's a lot of back and forth, dialing in their shape, dialing in their graphics. We both have just a different skill set and we complement each other really well. He's downstairs making boards all the time, so I don't actually see him a ton anymore.
Yeah, I get up and just come in here and make sure I'm in the shop by like 8:30, 9 in the morning, make sure I do an hour of yoga, and then I don't leave until 5 o'clock, like ever, you know. I shouldn't say ever, like if it dumps, like I leave for sure, but for the most part, I just make sure that like I work, you know. So basically you get a hold of me and we figure out what kind of a board you're looking for. You know, whether you want a freestyle board or a POW board or a tapered board or a directional twin, you know, we narrow that down and then I build the shape for you. We start with like a big rectangle and then from there we profile down the nose and the tail. Then we shape the core. We made a Lil 156 today. So we shaped out the whole thing and then we put the nose and the tail fill in it and then we cut off the sides to account for the sidewalls. And then we laid it up and pressed it. We figure out your graphics, whether you want to use some of like my graphics or you want to provide your own graphics, or you can get a hold of one of my artists and collaborate with them and they'll come off with a, you know, something you're going to be really stoked on.
I think if we were in a city, like the designs would end up being more urban by nature, and since the idea is going out to snowboard on a mountain, I think it's really fitting to be here in Montana. A lot of times it's Britton and I collaborating on an idea, and so we'll start with sort of a piece of sketch paper and talking about we want to go with this theme, these colors, et cetera, and then I bring that home and start coming up with prototypes, and I often just send him a lot of screenshots, and then he says, you know, let's go a little lighter on this, and it's a back and forth. And I like that collaborative process. The natural landscape is inspiring, especially for boards like these two are both photos I took of in the Flathead Valley of the lake and rocks in Flathead Lake. There's so much material to work with.
I mean, I can have a board finished, wax it, put my bindings on it, and either strap it to my snowmobile or take it to the resort, and I can be there in 20 minutes. That in itself for a guy like myself, like invaluable terrain. I couldn't do what I do and test as many as I can if it wasn't there. Yeah, I really love Montana. I've always said like vacation in the city but live in the mountains. It's beautiful. You know, I wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
For more information about these made in Montana custom snowboards, go to noticesnowboards.com.
Well, that's our program. We hope you've enjoyed meeting these interesting people and businesses that help our diverse and evolving Montana economy. On behalf of the students, faculty, and staff of the University of Montana School of Journalism, thanks for watching Business Made in Montana. I'm Laura Freeman.
This University of Montana School of Journalism student production is made possible with support from the Greater Montana Foundation. The Greater Montana Foundation benefits the people of Montana by encouraging communication on issues, trends, and values of importance to present and future generations of Montanans. And by the University of Montana.